everybody, it's Christy from Christy's Beautiful Life, and I'm here to do another episode of kind of using up my stash and picking one thing to draw from to create a layout. This week I want to use up this silly sticker sheet I've owned for a long time. It is from the Wildflower collection. I believe this is a Cartabella, and there's a few pieces here I could use in certain ways, but what I'm drawn to are this beautiful camera that you can see I've tried to put on a few different layouts because it keeps coming off. This Lucky Us, and then this awesome little Polaroid thing. I thought it'd be cute if I could find a photo to cover that, and maybe of my own Our Favorite Place sort of thing, and do a layout. So I don't have this photo yet, so I can't really do that. This one I definitely could do, but what I'm gonna do for this episode is take this awesome, that has a hair on it, but this awesome sticker, camera sticker, which you probably think is hilarious that it's a camera, you could put it on anything, but for some reason I had a really hard time trying to use it. So I'm gonna use that. That is my challenge myself. Also, because of the last episode when I was using the washi tape from Cedar Lane, I was drawn to the colors and the pattern papers in this. So as you can see, they're beautiful, and they're muted, which I really love, but they're beautiful colors. And it's the perfect shade of, it's the right wood grain, it's the perfect shade. So I'm gonna play off of that, draw in some of these awesome patterns, and create a layout. So I'll get you on fast forward, and we'll see what I can create being inspired by a sticker. Thanks, everyone.
Okay, so I know I told you this was the second episode that I was doing in this layout, but you're probably like, I don't know what you're talking about. I never saw you do a first layout. It's because that first layout never actually came and it never happened. So, welcome to my new series. I think I am going to title this Getting Inspired, or Inspired and Using It Up, something along those lines. I just haven't quite come up with it yet. The goal here, again, it is to use up a piece of embellishment or pattern paper or anything in my stash that's maybe been there for a while and I've been hoarding it, or I just haven't figured out how to use it and get it used. I have a pretty decent stash and I would like to get through it, so that is where this is coming from. The other part of it is the fact that I always start with my photo. My photos are always what I start with, and then I build everything upon that. And I thought it would be fun to maybe just switch things up a little bit and see what else I could create. So for this layout, my piece of embellishment there is that camera that you see me trying to flip around, and it is going to magically appear all over this page because I have a very hard time figuring out what I want to do with it. I am also going to use the collection from Pink Paisley. It was last fall's collection, and unfortunately the actual title of the collection has completely slipped my mind, but I know you're all looking at it and know what it is, so that's from there. Because there are some kind of fall themes to it, and I am doing a fall layout, I have grabbed some kind of crate and wood tape layout pieces to go with this layout. What it is talking about is my first pumpkin spice latte of the season. This photo was also taken on the very first day of October, and that month for 2015 I participated in the Pink Camera's 30 days of happiness, or something along the lines of something about being happy for 30 days. And I took a photo every day for 30 days, and I want to make it part of my album. I'm only going to make 12 by 12 layouts for about 2 or 3 of them, and then the rest of it is going to be in like a Project Life style pocket page for the rest of it. So this is the very first picture of that collection and of that little mini part I'm going to have in my album, and so I thought it would be fun to make it a big layout and just document how much I love pumpkin spice latte, but I do only allow it to become a treat, and I only get like 1 or 2, sometimes 3 a year. I make it very small so it stays a treat. So I also decided that within this decorating this layout, I was going to use up as much of my stash as I possibly could. And I have bowls of like the little pieces of ephemera and stuff. I keep them in white bowls, and they just kind of once I use a collection, I add it to the bowl and everything gets mixed and jumbled together, and I don't know where anything comes from by the end of when I'm starting to do stuff like this. But what I love about it is I was able to find little pieces here and there that help tie in with the rest of this layout and the collection I was using. So I actually got a lot used up, which made me really, really happy. Do you ever feel like you just have all this stuff and you don't know how you're ever going to get it onto a layout? So I kind of over embellished this layout, but I'm happy with it just because I was able to get so much stuff used up. I was also able to use one of those doilies that you see, that big white doily behind the whole collection. I got that as a gift from Caddy Miranda. She sent me a nice little goodie bag of fun stuff. So I was able to use that as well as that wood veneer, that little flower that I'm touching right now. That is also a gift from her. So thank you, Caddy. Everything is being used up. Oh, and you know what? Now that I'm looking at this layout, so is that really pretty pink doily that's right by my title as well. As for my title, spelling out the PSL in those sparkly blue thickers, those have actually been in my stash for quite a while, and I can barely spell anything with them. So I was really excited to get those used up. I can maybe use it for one or two more things, and that pack of thickers will be able to go in the trash. So I'm really excited about that. I also was able to use up one of those cork bows. Those are from the Dear Lizzie collection that Caddy and I just got done using up, and it was from Documentary. Uh, they're very dimensional, so they're hard to use. So I was excited to get this used up on a layout. I really love the way that it looks. It was a nice added little layering piece there, and again, it helps tie in the fact that this is a fall themed layout. I'm also going to try to use some washi here. That was going to originally be my first episode for this new series of using stuff up, was to use up my washi tape. And let me tell you, I tried. I did about 3 different layouts trying to make a layout with it, and it was not coming together. Me and washi don't get along. I have the hardest time using it. And you're going to see here too that I'm horrible at it. I try to add it in little bits and places, and very rarely does it actually make it on my layout. The nice part though is this piece you see me putting down right now with the arrows right underneath that floral, it stays there. I actually got a piece used up on my layout, which made me very happy because like I said, I'm horrible at it. I just can't seem to get them on a layout and make it look good. The other part that I think you might have missed at the very beginning of this layout, I showed you that I had done some stitching. I took every piece of pattern paper that I had from that 6x6 pad and I stitched around them I like the texture of it. I am not very good at drawing lines on my paper like Mercedes does all the time. I tend to have not a very sturdy hand, and I don't end up liking the lines that I make. But stitching, even if it's not perfect, it doesn't bother me. Most of the time I stitch in white, so it's a very mild effect to begin with. But that's kind of how I compensate instead of drawing lines around all of my pattern paper to help tie it in, I stitch instead. So I was able to do that. And as you can see, this layout is loaded with embellishments just all over the place. That is another piece of washi. It's a washi sticker from the same collection right there. I love it. It doesn't stay there. I actually move it up a little bit, but again, at least I was able to use something. And another really exciting part was using up the little banner that also helped use up some of my stash. So I am coming to a close with this layout. I want to thank everyone so much for watching my first episode. I'll be back soon with another one, and I hope that you will enjoy. Thanks everyone so much for watching. I'll be back soon. Bye!